Got $1,000,000 today. About to go and spin a bag, blow them bands today. Yeah, about to spend $100,000 today. Lot of blue face, honey, it's a blueberry parade. Yeah.
How we going, boys? AFL Linkxzy back with another video on the channel. This is going to be the first episode of my new podcast called Footy Talk. We're just going to go over the previous round of footy and talk about everything that's happened. Now, this round was Sir Douglas Nicholls' round. It's a round where we honour the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders people, so it's a great round of footy. More known as the Dream Time. Everyone, all their teams, they come together, they make a new jersey, or they get the First Islanders people in their club to make a jersey for their team, and it's just a wonderful round. First game, Carlton v Sydney. Carlton have won the game, but I'll tell you, Sydney made it hard for them. No one if you watched the first half, you were not expecting Sydney to almost win that, but in the end, it was only, I think, 12 or 17 point difference. Doherty actually Sam Doherty, that is, took a pretty big hit in the head. And the guy who hit him in the head did his hammy, I think. But, yeah, something to look out for. Charlie Curnow kicks 6 goals, 1 point. He's an amazing player for the Blues. And he's in the Coleman contention. So, he's a player you've got to look out for. Geelong versus Port Adelaide. Geelong have just got this win-loss mentality at the moment. And they really need to step it up if they're going to be known as one of the top sides. Port have their 4-win streak ended. They started the season 0-5, got 4, and now they've just got another loss to add. So Port need to step up if they want any chance of making finals. Patrick Dangerfield got injured. You never like to see him injured. He's a great player, but Geelong will be looking out for that calf because he's already done it previously. Dogs vs Suns, not a very interesting game. All I can really say for that game is Dogs are looking more like finals contenders, but you know, you never know with them. Suns, they're alright. Don't think they're going to make finals, but who knows? They got some good players. North Melbourne versus Melbourne. Classic game. Melbourne continue their streak of just not letting anyone win over them. North Melbourne put up a pretty big fight until the third quarter, I must say, and then Melbourne just kicked away. But Ed Langdon actually got injured. They're suspecting broken ribs, but he'll have to get scans to confirm that. Adelaide versus Saints. Saints won. It was a pretty good game. I personally didn't watch the whole thing since the better game was on. I'll get to that later. Tex Walker had a pretty quiet game. Unusual for him, and I'm pretty sure it was on his home ground, so not used to seeing that. Now, the big round. Dream time at the G. Richmond, I think, win comfortably with a 36-point win. It was a great game. Bombers, they went up to it, and sadly, Anthony McDonald Tipperwoody has retired, so that is not good news for the Essendon Footy Club. Bombers, they just looked like they were acting. Whenever Richmond player got in their face, they all come to back him up. It's because of the criticism they got last week, so I'm not sure about that. Dion Prestia got BOG, best on ground. He played great. Can't fault him, He's such an important player for Richmond. Tom Lynch and Kane Lambert got injured. Tom Lynch, not sure if he'll miss game time, but he did go off, I think, in the third quarter. Kane Lambert, he's going to miss a few matches, and that's pretty bad because he's such a ferocious player. Giants versus Eagles. Giants get a pretty comfortable win, I must say, 50 points, and that's another loss for the Eagles. Eagles, by far the worst team this season. It is insane how bad they are. Giants, even with their new coach, they got a win, so it's pretty good from the Giants. Eagles season, don't expect anything. Hawthorn versus Brisbane. Brisbane get their second loss of the season. Lachie Neale, there was this part, this is shocking. Lachie Neale gave away a free kick for just, getting someone in the chest. It wasn't even the chest, it was just, a little bit of a tap in the chest. It's just sad to see how umpiring's got these days with the new rules. It's just so shocking, but guess you can't really do anything about that. Hawthorn end their loss streak with a 5-point win over Brisbane. So Brisbane didn't win, Hawthorn won that. My bad. That was at Utahs. Dockers versus Collingwood. This was an amazing game. Collingwood put a put up a great performance with some of their new kids kicking tons. I think the new players kicked 6 goals all added up, but great performance. Dockers, they just can't play in the wet, I must say. That's 2 in a row they've lost to below top 8 teams when it's in the rain, so something's going on with them. Jeremy Howe took an amazing mark. I'll quickly
the centre square, just his experience now starting to have an impact.
Up the wing, rising high and simply breathtaking.
What an amazing mark from Jeremy Howe himself. You see him do it every round. You've seen him do it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, more than you can count. You can just count him to make a difference in your team, and it's just insane how good he is. Ginnivan, he is on fire. He is just a young player with so much, passion in him. So he's amazing. Oliver Henry, Collingwood's super sub. He kicked 4 goals, 1 point. Could have made it 5, but he had a pretty tough kick. Can't really blame him for that. So he was just amazing. Jack Chris put up a pretty good performance. A lot of disposals. And Jamie Elliott almost took Mark of the Year in wet conditions, but sadly, they did not pay the mark. That is going to be it for this podcast. I can't really make these long, but thank you so much for watching, and this is just one of many. See you, boys.